Good afternoon, OHS faculty, students, and special guests, but most importantly, our veterans who we've assembled here today to honor. I have the distinct pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Mr. Joe Rosen. Mr. Rosen served in the United States Army from 2009 through 2019. And while serving in Afghanistan in 2016 and 2017, he was involved in over 100 combat missions and awarded the Bronze Star for exceptionally meritorious service during combat operations. While serving his country, Mr. Rosen worked tirelessly to improve himself, ultimately earning 4 college degrees, including a master's degree in political management from George Washington University. As a military linguist fluent in Arabic, Mr. Rosen at one point served as a translator for the National Security Agency and presented the presidential daily brief to then President Barack Obama on 2 separate occasions. Mr. Rosen is an entrepreneur and business owner and leads an organization of 44 real estate professionals spread out over 8 states and 4 major Florida real estate markets. Last year, his organization sold real estate offerings totaling over $150 million. Outside of his professional accomplishments, Mr. Rosen is also extremely active in his local community. He co-founded the Treasure Coast Alliance, a philanthropic organization which has held 9 major fundraising events for community nonprofit organizations. Since 2020, his organization has raised over $125,000 for 5 different local organizations, including the Boys and Girls Club of Martin County, the Arc of Martin County, Madison's Miracles, and Diddy 4S Vets. Mr. Rosen currently serves as board member for both Diddy 4S Vets and the Humane Society of St. Lucie County. Please join me in extending a warm Brahmin welcome to Mr. Joe Rosen.
All right, let's see if I can get away with walking around here. If I can't, I'll come back up, but I like to be a little bit engaging, man. Number one, thank you very much for letting me come out here to meet veterans are the biggest thing. It's huge, right? A lot of the stuff that we're able to enjoy in America, the quality of life that we have, is because of amazing men like this, and some of the ones in the back. Thank you so much for everything you guys did. It laid the foundation for me, right? My grandparents laid the foundation for my parents laid the foundation for me. I hopefully laid a good foundation for you guys, and now it's up to you to lay a foundation for us, right? So let me hear some noise here. Where are my Patriots at? All right, we got a little juice out here, all right. Now, I'm from the country, man. I'm from Minnesota, a small town, probably about the size of Okeechobee. And we were pretty dang patriotic. I think we've been a little bit louder than that. Let's try it one more time. Where are my Patriots at? All right, now we're cooking. So guys, I want to start off with a question. I'll ask, maybe 2-3 people, and we'll get some answers here from you. Just keep it a little bit engaging, but I just want like a 10-15 second response. Nothing too long, not a storybook, 10-15 seconds. Tell me something in your life by a raise of hands. Something that sucks in your life right now. Him? Is it? All right, this guy right here, that's what sucks in her life. All right. So there we go. We got one. Sorry, buddy. All right, what else we got? Anything else? Nothing sucks? Goal? Oh, school. School sucks. Okay. Yeah, school sucks. Guess what? Work's going to suck too. Right? Welcome to life, man. How about you, buddy? Gas prices? Are you even old enough to drive? All right, gas prices suck. I agree with him, all right? So we got gas prices, we've got school, and we've got that dude right there, right? That's what sucks here in America right now, I guess. So right now what I want to do is I want to keep those things in mind, and I want to bring you to my experience in Afghanistan, all right? And I'm not talking about combat and gunfights and all that great stuff. I'm talking about the perspective of an Afghan man, woman, and child. And I'm going to talk about a specific man, woman, and child that I interacted with. When I was in Afghanistan, we were down south in a place called Kandahar. And in Kandahar, our job was to chase the Taliban. So wherever they were at, they called us up, and that's where we went. And there were maybe 50, 60, 70 of us. We'd hop on a bunch of choppers, and we'd be there in a few hours, right? We'd set up a camp. We'd have some on the perimeter pulling security. The guys inside would be working, doing whatever our job is, collecting intel, trying to kill the Taliban or at least negotiating with them, something, right? But we're trying to push them out of that area. And right outside of that wall that we had constructed for our base to protect us with all our weapons and our food and our comms and all these things that we had to help us, probably about 200 meters, 300 meters away, not very far, right? You guys got a track here? You got it's a quarter-mile track? Yeah, so that's about 400, is that 400 meters? It's about 400 meters, right? So I'm talking like half a track's distance, there's a little village. And when I say village, I'm not talking like Okeechobee, I'm talking like 20 people. And they got a little mud hut. And in that mud hut that they built, there's maybe several families, right? And they all live together, and they built it out of mud, which means the floor is dirt. And they live with the scorpions and the snakes and all these crazy things that we see in the desert. That's what they sleep with. And from a man's perspective, here in America we say, hey, you can pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Anybody can. I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're a minority, I don't care if you're ugly, I don't care what it is, man. You can overcome those challenges. It's a little more challenging for some than others. But you can overcome it in America because we have enough amazing things, enough services, enough people giving of their time, of their money, of their efforts to create opportunities for you, whether it's jobs, money, food, shelters, people coming together to help us. They don't have anything like that in Afghanistan. There's nothing like that. You can't pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And these guys lived miles, I'm talking 50, 100 miles away from any place, probably more than that, where there was electricity, where there was gas. There was no car in this little village. They maybe had 8 goats, chickens running around. They didn't have water. So their kids, let's go to the perspective of the kids now. These kids would wake up, and I'm talking kids, I got she just turned 7, and then I got another one that's 9. Right, I got a little 7-year-old and a 9-year-old girl, man. I would whoop up on anybody who messes with my girls. But guess what? If I'm a dad in Afghanistan, I don't have that option. We need water, and I've got things I need to do. My wife is busy in the kitchen, and guess what? We're gonna be thirsty. It's hot out. So I gotta send my little girls who knows how many miles with a couple buckets to go get some water that probably isn't fresh or healthy. And then she's going to come back, and hopefully, as a father, nothing happens to her on the way, which I'm telling you, it does all the time. It's some of the saddest stuff I've ever seen in my life, man. It's really tough to be there as a soldier, and you can't do anything about it. Your job is not to take care of their families. Your job is to train Afghans to fight the Taliban, and if you have to, fight the Taliban. That's your job. From a woman's perspective, you don't go outside. When we pulled up as the army, all the women went inside the huts. They couldn't come outside. And when we left, they could come outside, but when they did come outside, they had to be covered head to toe in some sort of clothing. All they were allowed to show off was this part of their eyes right here. That was it. Can't drive, don't make decisions. They're not in charge of the money, if they even have money. It's a much different world. And guess what, guys? Afghanistan is not the only place where we see that, right? It's all over, to different extents. Now here we're talking about gas being 20 cents higher. Well, maybe it's a little bit more than 20 cents. Higher than what we want. We can still afford gas, right? You're gonna make gas happen. School sucks. I remember school, it did suck. He told you, I've got like 4 degrees. All of them suck. But guess what? Everything worth something in your life from here on out, there's some level of suck to it. There's some level of challenge. If there's not, everybody will do it. And then it's not really that valuable. Anything extremely valuable is going to have a high level of suck to it. So while it sucks, it's pretty dang cool that we've got schools. Guess what they don't have in Afghanistan? Especially if you're in a village, and especially if you're a female. They don't have schools. Now they do have schools, but it's if you're in the bigger cities, it's a much different experience than it is here. So I want to say thank you to to all the veterans who came before me, all the veterans of my era. And guys, I'm looking around at a bunch of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds here. Some of you guys are going to raise your right hand. You're going to become veterans. Now, I'm going to be old soon. I'm already getting fat, man. I've been out 3 years. It happens pretty quick. I'm going to depend on your generation to step up. Either be a part of the military and go fight the fight. Take care of our country. Take care of our people. To support our Constitution, right? We're going to have those who join, we're going to have those who stay back and support them. As friends and family, support the Constitution, support our way of life, and they're going to back us. And we're going to continue to have the best country on the planet because of these veterans, because of you guys. So today is a day to remember these amazing veterans. And I'll tell you, every year, every day, I do. But I want to say to those of you who I know will raise your hand and join the military yourselves here in the coming years, thank you for what I know you're going to do in the future to take care of us and to take care of everybody here who's not going to join, right? You are the ones who create the fact that what we complain about is this guy, right? It's not no water. It's not no schools. It's not that women can't go to schools. They can't go out and wear a t-shirt. They can't do any of that stuff. That's not by accident. That's because we fight wars and we face great challenges, maybe with fear, but we do it anyway. And the greatest of our people are the ones who step up and do it. So I'm going to end with that. I'm just going to say thank you to everybody. If can we get the veterans just to stand up one more time, please? And just give these guys a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an incredible honor.
Mr. Rosen, we thank you for your service and for honoring us by coming out to speak with us today. Mrs. Beth Boggs will now present